So F1 tomorrow evening, F1 Manager. We're getting along with that nicely at the moment. I might stream some of that onto Discord later. So !Discord if you want to do that. Depends on whether I pick it up. We're about halfway through to...
Hello. Hello. That's working. Sorry, I was distracted by Garius, and I was shouting away, and I didn't realise the time. I was meaning to start this about 1 o'clock today. Because we are quite behind, and I need to try and get a bit ahead. Because I was away for a couple of weeks. Sorting out family stuff. How is everyone today? If I'm not mistaken, today is the 1st of October. So happy 1st of the 10th month of the year. Oi, caramba. Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey. How are we doing? Are all the sound alerts on? Yes, the sound alerts are on, and everything else on. So, what are we doing today? Well, we're trying to remember and rectify any positions we're in. If I remember correctly, we're at war with the French. That's not going well for the French. And my light cruiser are doing quite well. Ooh. I know how I would fight that battle. Will I be able to fight that battle that way? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go see what have we spotted. No, just charge towards them. This is... Oh, hello. We have got a fun time going on today. In that it's a French convoy. And these are British cruisers. And whilst they're in World War II, guys, this is the kind of a continuation of pretty much most of their history. They're not firing back. Oh, they are firing back now. There is a warship there. Don't take this wrong way. That's not good for you to be in a warship in this direction coming towards me. Oh no, I think you were a cruiser. Have you seen the amount of torpedoes I've just sent you away? Yeah, you're all officially light cruisers, aren't you? There is a light cruiser and there is a light cruiser in this battle. Yeah, but I'm fairly sure... Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, though, that's the Portuguese-owned one. Oh, well. We've lost the light cruiser. Go take out all their merchant ships. Hello, Spike. Hello, around Dale, and hello, everyone. I'm not sure if I've got anyone watching me. Hope you're well. I'm Alex, and if those who don't know me, I'm one of the people who abducted Garius and took him to Australia this year, and took him to Canada last year, and who are planning on trying to take him to Scandinavia next year in the Shipshape crew. Basically, a bunch of naval historians who go on holiday. Don't worry, McDevitt. There are many who have different names on Twitch than they do on YouTube. I consider that to be a sensible identity shake. I too would like to have a different name on Twitch than I do on YouTube. But that's mainly because I think I could have a very cool one on Twitch. This is sort of automated killing, as you can see going on here. The cruiser is manoeuvring in at a speed faster than any of them can really go at. And is just sinking them as it goes, primarily using its main gun. Because it can. And this is the idea of why, if you ask the Royal Navy what they were more worried about at the beginning of World War One in terms of World War Two in terms of raiders, they would have said surface raiders, because a surface raider can do that. And surface raiders are a good reason not to convoy, because you actually make it easier for the surface raider, unless you have a significant escort. And in the case of this particular formation, they didn't have a significant escort, which is sad for them. But this is the whole sort of scenario, the convoy war you have to think about, in that if you don't have the German surface threat, i.e. honestly, they're to an extent the Deutschland class, but they become, as war goes on, they become less and less of a threat, because honestly, there are so many things out there which can kill them. Gneisenau, Scharnhorst, Bismarck, Tirpitz, that's the big threat, because you need to convoy to protect against the submarine threat, because you need all those small escorts around them. But those small escorts can't do much if something really big and nasty turns up. And you don't have that many old battleships wandering around to send with convoys. There are a few, but not enough. Fleet. Let's go through my fleet and make sure I got everything is active. Set crew. Ooh. I have some battleships. Irresistible class battleships sitting in the Sea of Japan. Probably sensible to leave them there. Very sensible to leave those there. Mersal Kabir. That's fine. They're all fine. There's none which are weird. I did have a shortage of crew for a while. I'm building quite a lot of ships. And I'm once again building that up. Naval technology is very advanced. Hi, Guardsman 14. Hello, Ali. Just realised with this here, you can't see my finances, so if I move this to one side, you can see that I'm doing financially quite well. Yeah. Financially, doing well. Bad on... I keep investing in this, but I haven't got the maximum shipyard size up to anywhere near it needs to be for what I'm building. But that's because I just keep ordering bigger and bigger and prettier ships, because I've now found the fast battleships. And my fleet is... Well, if we go to the world sort of status and, you know, my active fleet: 29 battleships, 40 battle cruisers, 116 light cruisers, 42 destroyers, and 93 submarines. I have to admit, with finances, the trick I found is this: transport capacity. I invest in that from the beginning, early, and I keep that investing up as maximum. The higher the transport capacity is, the GDP receives bonuses, and that keeps you going. And basically, my transport capacity is far larger than I actually need it to be, which gives me huge bonuses. I haven't lost that many losses because of that transport capacity being quite so big. It's not just a big an impact. How am I doing in naval invasion? Choose province. Southern France. I want Eastern France. I want to take out France proper. Or Western France. I don't mind what's it called, actually. So, politics, invasion, Western France is not showing up as an option. That's just rude. Corsica? Corsica I could do with basically nothing. Do I have actually enough around here to do Corsica? That's an interesting question. Oh, I have 2 battle cruisers sitting there. That's enough. Do I have anything else? Oh yeah, I have some them there. Yes, they'll do. And anything else? Oh, they'll do as well. And they'll do. Yeah, I have enough. I have enough to do Corsica. Now, is there anything I want to do? Ooh, research. Special machinery. Yes. Not that. Want hull engine weight to go down. Ooh, better explosives would be good. Control station rangefinders. Yep. I don't like to go into debt. I, both in real life and in games, do not like the concept of going into debt. Gosman, I now know why your Mist video was so passionate. As I was watching a guy who does World War II tabletop games, and he was talking about how the Japanese were super far-sighted with a carrier, and didn't believe the RN had more, as the RN was full of admirals stuck in the battleships and short-sighted. Oh, yeah. There are immutable facts of history. The Royal Navy has more carriers than anyone else, in fact, than everyone else combined in the 1920s. They just do. It's the classic thing is, war happens in 1939. If it had held up to 1940, 1942, probably 1940, at least 1940, the next generation of Fleet Air Arm aircraft would have been in service, and half of the twaddle I have to deal with on a daily frigating basis online would not exist. Admittedly, I still believe the Swordfish would be flying around because I think nothing knocks that out of the Second World War. It managed to stay in it the entire way despite successes coming to service. But it would mean things like, instead of the poor Fulmar, which has no development cycle behind it because everything's sucked into the Battle of Britain, so it's just built and forgotten, you would actually get an aircraft which actually has a program and a development so it would keep pace and everything would work. I do have radar by this point in this thing. I'm sorry. Sorry for that. So. You can go there. And Cadiz. You can move up there. Da 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 dee, da da. Move ships. Ba ba da ba da 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 da. Ah, more traps. Ooh, yeah, no. Any ships? No ships along there. I should have checked if I had more ships around. Oh, yeah, plenty of. I have plenty of light cruisers. That's the advantage. And my light cruisers are legendary for what they get up to in this game. And I have plenty of light cruisers everywhere. That's the whole point of having 116 light cruisers. Wherever I need light cruisers, I have light cruisers. Cardiff. you can also come round. And I have submarines all over the place as well. So where are my naval invasions going on? I have that one, and I have that one. Look, to be honest, I had more battleships than light cruisers up until a short while ago. Then I built the Chester class, because there's a certain point at which light cruisers start to make sense when they're actually viable in this game. Up until that point, just build battle cruisers. I do not fancy a war with America at the moment, and my relationships with them are supposed to be pretty good, but I am still going to improve relations. I have issues with Italy at this precise time, but I will choose to ignore that and hope that I can just take Corsica before that happens. And that should be some interesting things soon. And then I just have to start building some more ships. Well, actually, I should probably let some ships actually get built before I start building too many more. They're Raccoon class. Oof. I'd rather get rid of some of the Raccoon class, honestly. They're not that good as ships. Let's see what's the best I could build right now. I've got a super battleship. Oh, cute. That's not good for anyone, me having a super battleship. Gear turbines. We'll see what we can build. Start off with a maximum of everything. Let's go for enlarged superimposed on that. My theory is, if I do that, makes more sense. And right in range, we want all the best of these. And let's see what we can do. Ooh, radar. Auto. Yep. That gives the longest range, doesn't it? Cordite 2. Standard ratio, increased HE, capped, and those. So, before anyone gets too annoyed with me, I'm just quickly going to make some changes. Because I have a 15-gun ship, a battleship already in service. And I'd like to see if I can make another one, because I like the idea of having 15 guns. So then I have to work out what sacrifices I have to make it work. So, I think it was the enlarge, wasn't it? So, ship is currently overweight. We will see what we can do about this. For starters, we want that to be up to 5. But how much overweight? We're not as much overweight as I was worried we'd be. Pitch 26.5%. We want Extrude to have standard quarters. So, we want that to standard. We want double hull. We want that to go down to 3. We want reinforced bulkheads to go down to 1. That to go to 2. Babette to go to 4. Doesn't make much of a difference. Doesn't really help. So let's start working through. Okay, we want that down to about 12. In that it's got to be there for the game simulation to be happy. But also that can go down to 16.5. That stays at 12. So now we're only 500 tons overweight. Our weight offset is 12.5%. We haven't fitted the secondary guns yet, have we? We haven't got the secondary guns. So, what are we going to do? Right then, let's start thinking. If I take that down to 32 knots, then I can still guarantee do 30 knots. But now I'm underweight. Some guns have poor sectors of fire. Oh, you beauty. I've got you underweight, though. So, engine efficiency is now at 92.5%, and it's... Let's do... I know I'm going for a slightly American look here, but, you know, in a nice way, the Americans are the ones who tended to like to trail their guns. But it could work. It could work, and it could solve our problems. Because our basic problem is we've got... No. That's too close. That's fine. And if we go for that, full weight offset is now down to 1.7%. That'll do. That'll do. Hello everyone. There's a Discord general chat as well, stuff going on. Ooh, what's going on in the Discord general chat? Right, now I've got a 32 knot battleship with fairly good efficiency and roll for everything. And it's got 15, 16.5 inch 50s. So basically, instead of a 16 inch 50, I'm going for a 16.5 inch 50. Oh, and I should say, for those who are patron supporters, because someone's just, Ali, you've just mentioned patron in the chat, the patron suggestions will go live today. I'm going to be doing something slightly differently, because of the various issues I've got going on in terms of my mum and sister keep having asthma attacks. I'm basically running patron suggestions till Thursday, and then Thursday to Sunday will be the vote this month in October. Just because of the joy that is going on. And right then, so I prefer that to be full belt is 7.3. That should do. And let's go to the secondaries, because I do need some of these. Now, before anyone gets too worried about the weight, don't worry, I will sort that out. But first of all, I have to make sure these are the finest 6-inch guns I can buy, and I've got four on either side, which means I've got the equivalent of a light cruiser on either side. Should work. The other option is to go with 4.5-inch guns. I prefer 6-inch. They give me enough range to really hit them. Admittedly, I have to take that down to about 6, but we'll leave that to one side. Right, and so I'm now 1,500 tons overweight. That didn't save me as much as I thought it might. I don't need that be force anymore. That can be natural. Oh, that's giving me, that's good. That's an advantage. Oh yeah, that's it was a 9. Or should I leave that at 8? It's still pretty good at 8. But up this. Because let's be honest, they have a tendency to close range. and a 14-inch would be useful. A 14-inch main belt would be useful. Honestly, I'd prefer an 18-inch main belt, but look at her. Isn't she pretty? And she has 15, 16.5-inch guns. Mainly because I can't get quad turrets right now, because otherwise she would have 20 16.5-inch guns. The theory being, when she turns up to fight, you hide. Because she's capable of 32 knots. So she will find you. Slightly increased the range of it. And got a few thousand more tons. So let's see whether we can do anything more about that. Oh yeah, 15 inches, that'll do. Got up to 1, and what can we get that to? That'll do. Luckily aircraft in this game, because I really don't have to worry about having a light AA armament. Otherwise there'd be a lot of 2-inch guns going around. Although, actually there are small boats in this game now, and there are torpedo boats and submarines. I've got sonar, I've got all those things on, but okay. Yep, that's enough. See, I like the triple 16.5-inch gun because that's its stats. And for me, that works out pretty darn well. A 16.5-inch 50 is a pretty useful system. If I could get up to a 56, I'd be really happy, but as it is, this will do. What design name has been changed? Thunderer, I will take that. I will take that and save it, and that will be my next generation battleship. When my next class of battleships come into service and are all finished, Thunderers will be ordered. Come on, load the world. You can do this. You can do this. Come on. I like Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, but it's still occasionally a little sort of how to put this? It is a little bit buggy still. One battleship, 2 battle cruisers, 8 light cruisers. Let's see. I've dispatched twice as much tonnage as is necessary, but, you know, I can dispatch more. I can find more. I'm sure I can find more. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I have this huge concentration of firepower sitting up here. You guys. All of you. Go take part. Ooh, a twin class of battleships and battlecruisers. My naval prestige is 999.1. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's June 1930. Unrest is good. It is not there, but I can afford that. We've gained control of Tonkin. Okay. So that means... Oh, good lord. Yeah, by the way, I might have expanded British India just a tad in this game. Where should we do now? It's a battle over here. Oh, this is not... Oh, that's a Chester class. This is not going to be pretty. Let's fight this one. This is not a good scenario for the French. Does not involve at any point a light cruiser versus light cruiser fight at this current time. Unless they get very lucky with their torpedoes, it's not good. Dang. It's torpedoes. But I lost Birkenhead, which is annoying, because I like Birkenhead. She was a good light cruiser. Okay, remind me, next time I'm making a light cruiser class, Birkenhead is what it's going to be named. Ooh. I think we saved all the crew, though. Yeah, politics. Let's do naval invasion. France. Choose province. There's a reason I'm doing southern Spain, because if I do southern Spain, I can bring all my fleet from up here around quite easily to it, and combine in with the fleet that's going to be freed up from there. I've got a 44% chance to succeed. I should probably send more ships. All of you. Yes, all of you. Go. And this is where we just start moving everything that was used to invade northern France to southern France. Yep, chance to succeed, 100%. And the British Army is assisting us with the invasion of southern Spain. It's always nice when the army gets involved as well. Preparing 4 ships, building 28 ships. Let's consider the fleet construction. How long till those ships are built? Frigate, there's over 2 years waiting for me. Summon them. Hood class. Yeah. I ordered a lot of those. I like those names though. And these are 30-knot battleships with 9, 16 and about 20 inches of armor. Yeah, if I remember correctly, the Hood class... what do they look like? Ah yes, Hood class. I like those ships. I will leave them be for the moment. I will fight this battle. Seeing as a battleship has joyously come out bravely to fight me. Solo, I might add, with no support. I will do it the courtesy of fighting this battle myself. So let's pause the starters. Aaron. Hang on. They're 23.6. Aaron. Hang on. Jupiter and Hindustan are both 23.6 knot ships. Africa is a 29.3 knot ship. Monarch, you're being joined into that battle group. I shouldn't, probably. You can screen this one. This one's the battle line. They're going to be automated and avoiding torpedoes. You're going to be automated and avoiding torpedoes. And you are going to be automated off, avoiding torpedoes and hunting. So let's see what happens. I do not want to look what's going on behind me, do I? At no point do I want to see what's going on behind me. And basically, I'm going to ignore you and concentrate on you three. Erin, Africa, Monarch. Charge. What are my free... Are my free light cruisers out going on their own way? I know the Chester class are a bit of a becoming a meme on this in this campaign, in that you just find the enemy and charge, but seriously, gonna need to order more of them. Or improved version called the Birkenhead class. Remind me, Birkenhead class. No books are headed for the floor here, they're perfectly balanced. You just couldn't keep up, so I'm going to leave you back behind with the main battleships. As much as I love you, and I love how brave you all are, no. Let me take in Erin. And Africa. Don't think they're the same class at all. They're different class of ships, but it shows how much standardization I've been doing in that they are both armed with 16.5-inch guns. Yeah. And the 6-inch guns. It's almost as if I have a standard format for my battleships once I get to it and keep to it. Both of them are 9. He wants to run. I won't let him run. Maximum speed, come after him. Okay, so this is the best the French have, and it's bravely come out to fight, and it's now bravely deciding it wants to be anywhere else but near this battle line heading towards it. Oh, 50-inch guns. Monarch's armed with lots and lots of 12-inch guns. That's an old ship. That is one of my original battle... no, that's one of my original battlecruisers in it. You can tell that's been through wars. And you all just don't understand the concept of giving in, do you? Basically, I turned my light cruisers into tribal-class destroyers. Oh my lord, they're firing their 6-inch guns over them! That's a whole new level of high-angle fire. Its top speed's 26.3 knots, and I think it is racing at 26.3 to try and get away. It is literally doing the maximum speed it can. So we've got a 3-knot closing speed advantage. This is going to take a while, but we are going to run it down. Because once we've got it, we do not put it away. Admittedly, closing behind it are things which have almost a 10-knot closing speed advantage, but we'll leave that to one side. Seriously. Erin is not the one you want to be chasing from at this point. Look, she's got all her guns forward mounted. And she is literally doing that. Oh, yeah. B turret is firing over A turret shamelessly. There you go. Fire. Oh, yeah. You're going, but perfectly good battleship going, but I have 4 guns to fire aft with. And I can maybe get these to fire aft as well, if I'm at the right angle. Look at all the different gun types on this ship. Seriously, it's a logistician's nightmare, just one ship. No wonder it's called Corvair. They're not as far back as I... No, they've caught up my battle cruisers already. Okay. Yeah, the light cruisers are coming through. This is going to be a lot of torpedoes. A lot of torpedoes. I might as well be nice and just let these all off the hook and let them just go hunting, because they might eventually get into combat, but it's going to be a while, considering that one's top speed is 27.4 and this one's going at 26 point something to try and get away. The fight is going to be between these 5 ships and that, and it's already suffering, because, if I'm not mistaken, Africa is also involved in the firing now. Oh yeah. My light cruisers are now level pegging. Yeah. I am bullying the French still. Look, in the nicest way, the French started off as my allies and then they declared war on me. And, well, that didn't go well for them. So far, I'm currently deciding which portions of France I want to have turn into my private villa space. Entire car to rebuild. An entire car to rebuild. That's not a good scenario. I think we'll go watch the light cruisers because they're going to close quite quickly. So, McDivitt, why are you rebuilding an entire car? I will go hunt the pictures on Discord in a bit. I find if I start... The trouble with this game is if you leave it, it doesn't like it. Now, we're closing. Gentlemen, you know the mission. You have roughly 24 torpedoes loaded in 12 torpedoes each broadside, 24 torpedoes loaded each. So that's a total of 72 torpedoes ready to go. You have a single battleship up there. You know what you're gonna do. Oh. Now it's in 6-inch gun range. So it's got Eurolus, Forth, and Melbourne. That's not a good section of names to take on. Might I suggest hiding? Oh, McDermott, seriously, first rule. A, never let your sister go shopping with someone else until she's married to them for a car. And I say this is not unless they know cars. My mum knows cars. She can go shopping for cars anytime she wants. She's great. My sister, brilliant engineer, had a car which had issues with exhaust. I thought it sounded sporty. I love her dearly, but she's very good at her engineering. She's not so good at the mechanical sometimes. But, yeah. She went shopping with a guy who was not... Well, officially not her boyfriend. Found a car, thought it was lovely. And he was sure it was great, and sure it was a good deal. Yeah, that car caused me 2.5 years of constant fixing. 2.5 years of constant work. Next time she went shopping, you can guarantee. I told her she had to take Mum with her or me. I didn't mind which. She could even take... Unfortunately, Grandad was gone by that point. Anyone, but just take some with you who is not going to be swept up with the enthusiasm of it's shiny. It should be shiny. It's on the dealer's lot. If it's not shiny and on the dealer's lot, there's going to be a lot of questions asked by me. They have an entire staff to clean it. This ship's just on fire. I mean, I haven't even got to torpedo range and it's already smoking. I think they're actually turning their main battery onto the light cruisers. No, you do not want to turn to fight the light cruisers. There are times when that might have been sensible. This was not it. You might actually end up getting sunk by light cruisers at this rate. But the biggest reason you do not turn and start to fight the light cruisers and decide how a fight with them is because of that coming behind them. You keep going. Good Lord, Chester class, you're doing it again, aren't you? Surrendered due to casualties. Random, Simon Devitt, i.e. random Dale fan. We're never letting a car shop again. The entire back corner under the door was a lump of expanding house ceiling foam, painted to look like the rest of the car. At least in my sister's defense, it was nothing quite like that, but oh my god. Oh. Seriously, there should be a law preventing. I'm going shopping with my boyfriend. No. No. For a car, no. No. You're taking with someone with someone with you who is prepared to tell you you are wrong and not worried about the relationship status with it. So you're taking with you someone with you who will literally go, "No, that is stupid." Which means they have to be someone who is either a friend, but of long standing, or a relative. Someone who's secure enough in their relationship they can turn around to you and go, "Yeah, I know you really want a new car, I know you really hate new car shopping and all these things, but that is an absolutely terrible deal." I think it was, I don't know who it was I was watching the other day, is the definition of a real close friend is someone who is confident enough in their relationship with you that they can tell you, "You're being a moron," and not worry about it. Bam, ba-dam, bam. We're already moving something from there. Right. That to that. Mm-hmm. No one likes to be told no, but if you don't have people around you who tell you no, you become an idiot. Basic rule of humanity is that all of us will be pushed on further and further by our ego unless we have someone sitting there to go, no, you are not, you had a good idea, that was a good idea, this is not. And that's the important thing about humanity. This is why you need a community. This is why you need to have friends and sort of family and have a group of people you can who are strong enough in relationships with you to tell you no. And the problems with most politicians, with most people who are superstars, etc., and all these things, is they don't have people telling them no anymore. You know, it's the most important thing to look for in friends, family, spouses, all those things, is someone who's prepared to tell you no, and someone who's prepared to tell you yes when you're right and no when you're wrong. I don't need extra money around. I've got plenty of money coming in. Mohawk, Chester class. I don't think I can take on a brand new battle cruiser. On solo. But top speed, what's top speed? Top speed. Oh god. This is not nice. I think Royal Arthur will do the job. Oh, they're also 36 knot, and they're 36 knots. So, fight, battle. Potentially, if your boss is also your friend, and you do hang out with them, yeah, potentially they could be your best friend ever if they're the ones who are prepared to tell you no. Go hunting at full speed. Also go hunting at full speed. Enjoy. Hello, Royal Arthur. You were armed with 9 16.5-inch guns. Oh, why is it I have so many... I am so predictable in my armament scheme. Oh... So it's always sensible longer term to grow the GDP. Is it me, or Ifligina is just sitting in the back, just tailgating, going, "Let me at them, let me at them, let me at them"? Also, the 4-inch guns look bigger than the 6-inch guns. I do think they need to work on this turret design. Or they need to work on these turret designs. I'm not sure which. But those are 4-inch guns on the side and 6-inch guns on the centre. Not do you realise that looking at the turrets. There again, once I have triple turrets. Ooh, that's going to make my light cruisers even more lethal. Come on. Can I just ask something? Are you lot are keeping up and... Okay, Hibernia. You're doing 30 knots, aren't you? You literally are. Oh, you pretty, pretty girl. She is a very pretty ship, isn't she, Hibernia? As you can see, modelled on the F-type. And we have Orion, who's the Hibernia sisters. Oh, it's 4 sisters. Hang on now. There's one out of... there's 3 sisters. And there's a... cousin. You have recently had a 36-knot destroyer drifting at 85 knots. Yeah, the game mechanic can be fun. Is that a... Did they fire a torpedo? They did. They fired a torpedo. At ultra long range. This is going to be a very close fight, I have a feeling of. Oh, good lord, the battleships are getting involved. There's just long-range fire coming from everywhere. I'm not sure how it's managing to block 16.5-inch shells at this range, but it's cute to see it doing so. And that's what happens when you get hit by a salvo at that range. Don't get me started on the French light cruiser, okay, designs. The French light cruiser designs are some of the most strange, things I've seen, and I've spent the morning looking at trying to sort out pictures of Japanese torpedo boats from World War II. And why is it, I would like to know, that the basis point for every single discussion of torpedo boats for the Axis forces is whether or not it was based on the Schnell boat or not. You sit there and go, the Japanese looked at the designs of the Schnell boat. They did. And they couldn't build them because they didn't have the ability to set up the industries in time to do so at the point at which they're looking at it. So they went with other options. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you do. I have no idea why the Germans are so obsessed with wing turrets in your games, Cody 88. I find the whole German obsession in World War One with wing turrets to be slightly disturbing. I'm still not sure why the United States keeps trying to piss me off. But I'm going to improve some relations with Italy instead. I could... No, I'm not really bothered about destroyer design. I'm not building destroyers. I am building nothing below light cruisers. Turret mechanisms will be good. Gun layout will be useful. I'm going to leave rangefinders under development. Okay. Ooh. Right then, so we've gained control of Corsica. Ooh, we lost 2 of our submarines. That's terrible. That's still damaged. Repairing. We have a whole load of submarines sitting around here. You go blockade Brest. You're blocking La Rochelle. Even have Mers El Kabir is now British as well. Oh, hello. We have a light cruiser sitting around. Okay. Off you go, Bellona. I like to have everything I can involved in this operation over here because that makes sense. Hello, and we have two of the... Oh, we have Cossack. We have a light cruiser called Cossack. This is not good. That was in southern Russia. Let's find out what... Oh, we have light cruiser in Riga. Oh, okay. We're going to leave you there because the Germans are being annoying earlier. We'll leave you there. So that's 3 light cruisers. Move ship down to Riga. They're all Chester class. That's good. 3 Chester class is a fairly good force. I don't know. And let's. Hold on a second. The only reason it's been taken, Siberian Russia's been taken by China. Yes, Republic of China has that. They also have Afghanistan. Lucky them. That's not really helpful in this game, but you know, you never know. There again. That'd be useful. What forces do we have over here? Oh, we could do something. We could do something. Let's go to politics and naval invasion. France. Pick something that we... Close. Let's go back to world and just check what this is called. That's called Annan. And that's Kwangchou. I think we do Kwangchou. Take that, and then we're good. You've taken the Philippines at the Caribbean, Yanks, the Eastern Seaboard of mine. Took Caribbean Philippines. Yeah, I've had the Americans declare war on me occasionally. It hasn't ended well in this game. I don't actually find myself declaring war that often. As you can see, I've got part of Japan. And in terms of America, well, yeah, I've got Maine, Eastern USA, Southeastern Seaboard. I've got the Gulf Coast, but I have got most of the Caribbean. And I got a fairly decent sized force going into there, but I can always add in more. should give me enough ships to pretty much guarantee the invasion of southern Spain succeeds, which turns Spain into entirely British territory. Unrest is at 0. I do not mind an increase in my monthly balance. Ooh. This is not a good fight for them. Let's fight. Oh, good lord, this goes... I'm going to auto-resolve this just to see what happens in the auto-resolve. I would have sunk them all, but, you know, okay. Chance to succeed, only 61%. Oof. I need to find some more ships from somewhere to go and support it. I don't think I have any more ships. I seriously do need to build some ships out here. I do. Not in control of the canal zone. Strange enough, no, I'm not. But currently that's being held by Egypt itself. And in terms of politics, Egypt is not one of my minor allies. They are allied with China. And so instead of going back and fighting them at the moment, currently got good relations with China, so I'm just ignoring it. And mainly I keep improving relations with the Americans because it's annoying my American counterpart. Because my American counterpart keeps trying to provoke war to try and get some funding. And I think previously that has not gone well, so I'm not sure why he's quite so eager the idea of it. But he is. Sadly eager the idea of it. But he is, you know. I think it's, you know, he's gained quite a lot of chunk of South America recently. He feels that makes him stronger. The trouble is, I have rather a large amount of submarines around here. And I will use them. And a huge number of light cruisers. And I mean a huge number of light cruisers. And submarines. So yes, it's not a good position for them to be in to attack me. But I am still grouping all the light cruisers together. If they're less than a pair, I prefer to have them all together so that I can, you know, operate them as a group. Ooh. And we'll move a battlecruiser in there as well. And that should be enough to really do things, shouldn't it? Capacity of New York for me. Let's go see. Oh, yay. I've got quadruple turrets now. I don't think the Thunderer class will be helpful now. I want something even bigger. I want it with 16 and a half inch guns. Or 20. New York. New York for me. Capacity. 345,000 tons. You have a lot of oil. Question is, do we have enough oil though? Politics. Naval invasion of France, I think we should be doing. Another naval invasion. Choose province to invade. Let's do this naval invasion of France. And let's see what happens, because my theory is if I'm launching a naval invasion of southern France, they should withdraw all their ships to southern France. Especially as it's combined with this. What is my army like? Because my army appears to keep being beaten up. Okay, they have roughly 4 times the military strength of France. Why are they invading such a small group? Yearly army budget. I'd reckon that's roughly 50 billion. And the French yearly army budget is roughly 13. Yearly naval budget. Roughly 102 billion. And the French yearly naval budget is actually more. They're spending 105 billion a year. They've got a far less. Their naval funds are. Oh, look at how much money they've got spare in their naval funds. Their crew pool, though. Naval prestige is humiliated. Their power rating is, and their tonnage. Is 1 million tons, roughly. Whereas mine's about 4.2 million. Sheesh. The American yearly naval budget is roughly 7 billion. I've got just 500 million in naval funds. Province is 137. Yeah, this is just not good for anyone who's fighting me. It's just not good. Let's see, anything else I can bring into here, because I really should bring maximum strength if I'm going to invade southern Spain, if I'm going to invade. That's something to do, but no. So that's why it's so difficult for me to invade it. Campaign, it's almost 2 million is capacity in New York. I would say the trick you want to do is you want to blockade it and bring it down. Break it down first. That's what I tend to do with them. Okay. This is not a good fight for them. That's top speed is what? 24.8 knots. The battleship. Oh, forget the battleship's almost as fast as it. That's outpacing it. That's outpacing it. Yeah, that's a prize of the victory. Right, and we are moving everything out to there. They're all damaged and repairing. Yeah. Let's just move everything towards there. This should go okay. If necessary, I do have a rapid reaction fleet, I think, over in Kingston, which I can bring over. Oh yeah, I can. I think what we'll do, we'll take one of those, one of those, one of those. That should probably be enough. To take it down to the required displacement in the thing. But 2, 4, and 6. Yes, that should do. And that should make Kingston still 1,000 tons over. Let's see. Let's move the destroyers from here to Kingston to reinforce Kingston, so it's got destroyers. And that should be interesting. Trying to have DDs all over the West, Gulf, and East Coast, but I'm not getting the blockade pop-up. Basically, click on the ports and just send them into blockade. It should be working. Go check the research. Rangefinders, boom. Don't need that. Don't need that on. Air communications, all those. Oh, armor forging. And boilers. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't know if I'll manage to get the 2 million I need. I'm not sure if I have 2 million tons worth of ships available for this. Do you have cruisers in those fleets? Because in my experience, cruisers make the difference in terms of blockading. Because basically that's how I broke the Russians and several points in this. Why is France trying to pick on everyone else at the same time as they're fighting me? This is upsetting me on several levels. They're supposed to be concentrating on me, not fighting anyone else. How dare they pick a fight with people other than me when I'm fighting them? Night Cruiser. Oh, it's got 6 points. Fight. Battle. I'll command this one. I do the auto resolves on some of the big battles because I know it's going to sound strange. It goes weird for me sometimes. I wish there was a multiplayer function where you could hand off and you could actually have a couple of people playing as your sub-admirals. So one of them coordinating the destroyers, one coordinating the battle line, one coordinating cruisers. Where are you? This is HMS Dublin. Look at that bow. Where are you? We're doing 35 knots. We're at 30 times speed. We're going fast. Well, you've taken me down to 10 times speed, so the enemy must be close enough for you to think there's going to be action shortly. we're not firing guns yet. Why would I end battle the moment I've seen them? Okay, this time we are not planning on doing a tit for tat loss. So yeah. We're going to skirt in, we are going to fire torpedoes, and we are going to get out of there. You don't say enemy smoke spotted to the south. I can see the smoke. Oh, they're all out of torpedoes. Oh, that makes my life a lot easier. Now I'm just going to watch out for my own torpedoes. There are a lot of torpedoes in the water. You might want to take slightly more evasive action than you're doing. Ay, caramba. You think after a while the French would go, you know what, sending out my light cruisers solo is just not working for me. It's not. It's really not. I know what. By the way, today's book list for today's topics are Fleet Tactics, Okinawa, Under Pressure by Richard Humphreys, Turret of Harwich Force, those four, and there are two more which for some reason are not on top of them, which they were supposed to be. So that's the books for today's brew ships. I've got battleships out here. I didn't realise I had battleships out here. Move over there. I completely forgot about battleships out here. And I have submarines down there. I have submarines there. I have submarines there. And I have a light cruiser. I forgot about you. You're an old light cruiser, but you're an extra tonnage. Go up there. Oh, good lord! I really am the Royal Navy of this time period. I've got a whole class of cruisers. I keep forgetting where I've got them in the world. Oh, there's a town class cruiser there. Which one? We built that. Yeah. What are we exactly doing with that? Well, that's a good question. That is a good question. We've got light cruisers all the way up and down their coast. Oh, we've got a battleship. Oh, hang on. Did we say we had a battleship up there? Yeah. Did we have a battleship in New York or something? Philadelphia. In the streets of Philadelphia, we have battle cruisers. We have battleship. Well, you and your 2 light cruisers are going to go that way. Do I have anything else sitting out over here? Oh, I have light cruisers over in Suva. Ah, how cute. What the frigate? What are you actually doing? You're just Cutter and Iris. I've got 2 Chester cars sitting out in the French Marquesa Islands. They came from Pearl Harbor. Of course they did. Let's see. Take the boys off. Our forging will leave there. Turret mechanisms. What is working on? Big guns. You need an entire office. I need an entire staff. I'll have the admiral who's in an admiral with full staff go. Your entire mission: keep track of how many town class cruisers we have. That sort of video I saw the other day, which was about, I think, was it Dollar General stores in the United States, where the guy who was in the staff was just asked, "How many Dollar Generals do we have?" And he went, "I don't know. There are so many. They just keep multiplying." That's a Tourneville class light cruiser. Green. Bulkheads Maximum Genevieve. That was what I just took apart to pieces. I'm going to battle that. I'm going to lead that battle. It's Edinburgh and Eclipse. How are you seeing enemy smoke? How? Also, I think in terms of the technology settings, they sort of list people as very advanced, what sort of level they are. I think they should have a level which just says most advanced. In the UK, we have pound stores. There's pound lot. There's pound land, pound shop. They're just called pound something, and there are multiple of them. And there are some towns in the UK you can go to, and they literally have a row of all these different pound shops. And I quite like going into them because usually you can find decent chocolate in there, and by that I mean not frou-frou chocolate. It's not got... This is chocolate has been infused with cinnamon and nutmeg and all the other things. It's just chocolate. When you want a bar of chocolate, you just want chocolate. You don't want it to have a list of ingredients as long as your arm. I'm glad to hear that. No, don't try it, but I have to upgrade my Chester class in terms of their ability to actually take torpedoes. Because obviously me putting all the systems in them to avoid torpedoes doesn't work, because they still manage to get hit because they don't take the evasive action. Hey, caramba. Umberto class, Rey Umberto class. When When you consider where Italy started off and how Italy developed in terms of their ship design and how good they got. Why is it also all the damaged ships always end up in the smallest ports? Never understand that one on this game. You'd think they'd go to the bigger ports, which can maintain them and fix them, or at least they'd be moved to there. It's a loud bird. See, I'm not hearing what's taken in by the mic, so if there is loud birds and things like that, you'll have to tell me, because I don't hear them. But one thing I will do... Ay, caramba. Sorry. Excuse me a second. There is someone just wandering past my way. What are you trying to move now? Sisters. Yes, it has. Yes. Go make coffee. Yes, you should do, McDevitt. You should. Well, you know, you only wear 3 hats. If you wore 4, maybe they'd hear you. I just started a new campaign on UAD. Guess the name of game to my first class of TDs. Torpedoes. Oh, good North. Daring class? That's quite a favourite of the game. You're playing the US. King class? So they've got double hulls, anti-flood free, reinforced bulkheads. 22-inch torpedoes. Best of all that I can give them. Six-inch 39s. 4-inch 40s. So they're currently 600 tons overweight. What shall I reduce to get them down on the weight? That wasn't worth it, was it? Refit time 2 months for them to go through that. So they got many bulkheads. Their range has been boosted up, which is good for me. They're up 200 tons more. "33 knots does it." So I've dropped 3 knots on top speed. I will say that dropping 3 knots on top speed is annoying, but it's not that annoying. Oh. Now, let's see what we can do with this. And now I've got a 4-weight offset of 0.2%, which I'm going to balance out by... Nope. That. So I'd say that's a fairly useful increase on my Chesters. Whilst, yes, they've lost 3 knots, they have gone up to... They've had a 50% increase in firepower all round, barring their torpedoes, which have gone from 21-inch to 22-inch. Yeah. Got 20 tons to play around with. We now have many bulkheads. So hopefully that will stop us being quite so prone to flood damage. We have got level 3 on the anti-flood, which is the highest we can get. We've got double hulls, which we had already, and reinforced bulkheads. Oh, caramba. I am... No. Making them a 4.1 inch, what does that help with me anything? Does it give me a... Versus regular? Gives me an extra 200 meters of range. That really doesn't bother me at the speeds we'll be engaging at. Doesn't give me any advantages. It's roughly 5.5 rounds a minute. So that is pretty much 33 rounds every 2 minutes fired by these guns. Yeah, that'll do. Can allay mines and can do depth charges. Right then, let's see if I can't refit a fair number up to this standard. Britannia. They offered you your first torpedo boats, your first destroyers to be the Britannia class for the US. Something happened there. I wonder if I keep forgetting, is there a select all? I am sacrificing 3 knots of speed for a tremendous boost in firepower. I am basically pulling the same trick of the Fairmile D's versus the Schnellboots. And actually, I do think the Japanese got the raw end of the deal by looking at the Schnellboots. Because they heard about their exploits and thought, these must be great vessels. I'm refitting roughly half my light cruiser fleet. It would help with your US-UK relations. Not. Ah, Razor Rangefinder number 2 has come in. Just as I fitted all the Chesters with number 1s. Oh well. Doesn't really worry me. I think we're going to fail with Southern France this time, but we'll just keep going for it again. Just keep Just keep giving it a go. Just move more and more ships into the region until I take it. I think in terms of Western Mediterranean stats, then frankly, the Free French light cruisers might not want to be there. Oh, they're not. They are not going to be there. Okay. Cable 30 knots. Cable 31 knots. 36 knots. 36 knots. 36 knots. 33 knots. Okay, I know where I'm going. Oh, these are all capable of 36 knots, aren't they? Just. So, no. Right. So, Audacious. Moves there. Beric. Moves to there. You will screen them. You will screen them, yes. Not torpedoes. You are going to go hunting. And you are going to go hunting. So we have these three going hunting at 35 knots. These three going hunting at the maximum speed they can do. And everyone going at the maximum speeds. And now I'm going to turn around and not look, because there is going to be bashing going on back there like anything. Go, 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 battle cruisers. Oh, for goodness sake. Why do you do that? Oh, why? Why do you do this? That was loud. That was them bashing into each other. I do not know why they do this. We have 4 screening the battlecruiser force. We have 2 screening the what I'm loosely calling the battleship force, which is based around the King Edward and Empress of India, because King Edward has, well, King Edward is let's be honest, she's sexy. She is one sexy beast. And then we have the Empress of India, who is just as beautiful and just as sexy. And they're being followed up by an Audacious, a battle cruiser, which is armed with 13.5-inch guns, and apparently every 6-inch gun I could find. I'm just saying that because I'm looking at the ship and going, yep, I fitted you with 6-inch guns. 6-inch, 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 6-inch. And these are, I think, guess out of 4-inch ones. So yeah, she's well armed. And of course, we have in the screen, we have the Chester class light cruisers. These are unmodified. These have not been going through the upgrade program. Currently, anything that's at sea has not been upgraded yet. Hello, Glover. Thank you for following the channel. That was loud. The sound alerts is on, yes. Right on. Head towards it. there's no point in diving away. Screen, come with me. Towards the smoke. That is where we're heading, towards the smoke. We are tracking them down. Oh, one of you's bashing into someone else. Please don't do that. You are literally 4 battle cruisers, they are 4 light cruisers. This is not a fair fight. But we are the Royal Navy. We do not believe... No, 3 battle cruisers, I'm sorry. 3 battle cruisers versus 4 light cruisers. This is not a fair fight. Especially if you've got 4 light cruisers of your own with you. But this is the Royal Navy way. We do not like fair fights. We like overwhelming superiority of firepower. Now, that is a trick you shouldn't actually do unless you're really confident you know the angle of the torpedoes you're dealing with. Otherwise, you certainly do not turn in towards them. The advice was always historically to turn away from the torpedoes and outrun them. I'd say you're gone. Right then, keep going on. Let's go get the next ones. Let's just work our way up. Hi, Jonathan. Oh, hi, Runa. I know you've been... sorry. Brain dying. I meant to say hi to Runon, but then I said hi to Jonathan for some reason. Yeah, let's just say my brain's going, you know. It's been a fun week. And if you notice the video didn't go live yesterday, that's because I re-recorded it, put it into upload, and for some reason unknown to me, set it to Monday instead of Saturday. And by the time I realised it hadn't gone live, I went, subscribed for 7 months. Cool. I'm not sure if anyone heard that cannon over what's going on the game. Attack. I don't think I need you as screen anymore. I think I'll just use you as attackers. So basically you're now caught between 4 light cruisers and 3 battle cruisers, and there's only 3 of you left already. This is the sort of battle which heroes are made from. Especially when historians write them up afterwards, and they want to make decide who are going to massacre you into heroes. I expect there's going to be some glorious actions over here in terms of firefighting, dealing with shell fire and dodging torpedoes. just keep doing the dodging of the torpedoes, sailors now. Dodge the torpedoes. Now 2 of you left. I think you're trying to turn away from me. That's not necessarily the most stupid idea you've ever had, but you do realise turning away from me turns you into my light cruisers. More of the same in terms of how well they're doing. And I'm, of course, having the fun of university paychecks. So, yeah. It's all the same. Avoiding the torpedo. You guys go running that way, and to avoid torpedoes, I run straight towards the enemy. That's just... Yeah, there's just no escape in that one scenario, was there? My preferred method of dodging torpedoes is turning into them and slowing down, basically cutting down behind them. Yeah, that can work quite well. Let's see what happens when we get over there. Let's see if we can get enough. Estimated duration, one more time, and chance to succeed is for 8. I've now got enough tonnage there, but I ain't got a chance to succeed because it's now been too long getting it there. Let's go see what's actually closest to our forces over here. Cambodia, we've got Thailand, we've got... Basically, Annan is the one I should be targeting. But how much is that going to require? Annan requires the most of all. Cambodia requires at least. Let's go for Cambodia as well. Because my theory is if I'm plucking off their empire whilst also blockading them, I'm just ruining their economy. Distrustful, accepted. Their budget is massive. And yet, they're on down to 23 provinces. Where are most of their provinces? They're losing them over there. They've got some in Africa, I suppose. They have got some in Africa. I I keep forgetting about the ones in Africa. They've got no more there. Have they got them in the Caribbean? Do they have them over here? They do have some in the Pacific. That's already up 1 month. And to increase the speed of the shells. It is fun when you do cut in behind the torpedoes. It does make things pro. Now, remind me, today I am supposed to be finished by 4:30 at the latest, because I have to go and walk Fluffs and eat some food before we have the live on YouTube later. So 4:30 is the latest I can go on for. But I do, as I said, I do know I was away for a week, so you know, a couple of weeks. So I like to try and make it up a bit. Oh, this one I'm fine. See, anything going on that I need to worry about? Think about. No. Ooh. Leave those doing that. And do I have any light cruiser up here? I do have a light cruiser. Dublin. And she's being a refit, isn't she? All light cruisers which are in port will be under refit. So let's go to. Well, hang on. I've got a second naval invasion going on. Almost forgot about you. I send them down there. Yeah, well, the Fluffs, it's always their decision. But, you know. They like to. They like. Let's put it this way. Both of them are fairly certain that the only reason I have any subscribers is because of their occasional appearances. The only reason they're not being allowed outbound is because the smell in the garden, as I've discussed before, the smell's going on. It seems should be a third option for me to just keep my mouth quiet. No, they're going under some sort of refit. Refit as well. Let's go for... Where's the fleet going on? Refit. The refits will soon be done. They'll be good. Refits are basically finished next month, and then I get all my light cruisers back. And I get them back, they're going to be 3 knots slower, but they're going to have, as I said, a 50% increase in firepower. So, well, that makes life a little easier. United States is scrapping a lot of their light cruisers and cruisers. Probably sensible, but they're not scrapping. They're not that old ones. They're 6 years old ones. Okay, that's not necessarily a sensible thing to be doing, to be scrapping such recent ships. France has been trying to invade places while we've been doing this. That's just not sensible. Now let's go to politics. Make sure I'm improve relations with the United States. Use the Anglophone advantage to full. So I've got an 85% chance of success there, which is nice. That's most of the way there. Could do with it being better. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Mozambique has a fleet of 8. Oh, that's Portugal. Portugal has done well in Africa. I should probably be watching Portugal, but mostly they seem to be a fairly decent, reliable ally who basically buys a lot of stuff from me. All my ships have been finished being refitted. That's useful. Italy's laying down some new ships. Japan's laying down some new ships. Oh, that's not going to be a good fight. Oh, good lord, that was a victory. Okay. I'm I'm presuming basically HMS Victorious was victorious. Alright, so we'll see what that does. That one does. Let's improve relations with Germany quickly, as they seem to be having a fun time causing issues. And I fancy hull construction and a control station improvements. When my next generation of battleships come into service, it can't be too soon. Admittedly, that will take me up to 390 ships. Oh, good. Oh, let's just fight it. See what happens. Oh, Royal Arthur's been lost. That's a sad thing. She was a good ship. Let's do this battle. Let's see what we can do. To be fair, those numbers are heavily battleships. I have about 60 of them. No, I have 40 battle cruisers and nearly. This will be 40. This will take me up to 40 battleships. In those numbers, plus the rest are all light cruisers. I really don't have a lot of destroyers. Now you can tell this is an older ship of mine, that whilst it can do 36 knots, it's only got 8 guns of each, whereas my newer, the refit versions have 12 6-inch and 12 4-inch, both in 4 triple mounts. They also have 22-inch torpedoes rather than 21-inch torpedoes, and they are reduced to by 3 knots, but they have heavier armor and they have more subdivision. They've gone up from a standard amount of those to many. This is all to try and improve their resistance to torpedoes, because I kept losing light cruisers to torpedoes. My total tonnage is somewhere around 4 million tons. But at one point, I wasn't building anything below a battlecruiser. I had a fleet which was entirely battlecruisers at one point. I think there was a battle in one of the earlier videos where it was literally the enemy showed up with 2 battleships and I had about a dozen battle cruisers there, and I just blasted them at range. You do have to watch your own torpedoes sometimes because they can go nutty. Oh, it's all out of torpedo ammo. That's even better. Their favourite method of causing me pain is over. That is a heavy cruiser that I'm basically taking to pieces with a light cruiser. But I'd say in the nicest way, the difference is obvious. One has a Chester class, which looks roughly like a Leander class, or similar from World War II era. And one looks like a, need I say it? Your fastest battleships are only 50,000 tons. I have 90,000 ton battleships on service for places. Definitely on order. I'm not sure if they've actually reached service, but yeah, I have 90,000 tonners. I've basically gone shamelessly big and fast. Big, fast, and armed with 16.5-inch guns. Well, let's fight this battle. Let's see what we can do. The Venice of Ostwald. The Menstad Apostolov. So let's take out the light cruiser first, and then we'll take out the destroyer, and then we'll take out all the transport, shall we? 5 triple 15-inch, 16-inch belt, and 40 knots. I think I'm doing fine. Thank you. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, that is the destroyer. Or is that destroyer? That's the destroyer! Oh, good lord. Neither looked that particularly big. What is about these ships and getting hit by a torpedo? I should have turned inward, shouldn't I? Get the flooding under control, please. That is the one advantage of the Chester class. If you manage to avoid it, you can do some really interesting things. Let's end the battle, get you back to being repaired. Yeah, you need to balance the two, Jonathan, with the tonnage. You need some of the tonnage for the invasion, and the capabilities are nice, but when you're requiring to put 2 million tonnage together, having some 90,000 ton battleships turn up does help a lot in making life a little bit easier. There are none in port for me to refit. Okay. And you see, there's the original Chester. There's the Chester 2. They suddenly have are deep draft. They really are suddenly deep draft. To take the tonnage and weight. But they are stable ships. 33 knots, long range, 11,000 tons. Yeah. Alright, let's do this at least once more, and then it's probably a go time for me, because otherwise, as put already earlier, I will be facing a fluffy revolt. And it's almost been 3 hours, so, you know, I'll be over the 3 hours of gameplay. That's not really going to bother me much. That's not going to bother me much. That could be useful, actually, because whilst Yeah. Yeah. Portugal is Romania. Let's see, how's this going? Naval invasion going? Does exceed 73%. I need to upgrade. I need to increase the forces there somehow. Where are the? Do I have any other ships in this area? I don't think I do. That is annoying. Well. Right, let's move you all to there. And are there any other light crews in this area that I can borrow from? Ah, yes, you've been upgraded. That's good, because you've had your range upgraded as well. Is France a British colony yet? Not quite. Northern France is. Battle. Let's... Do I want to auto-resolve this, or do I want to escape this? I want to escape this. Go to maximum speed and just go in the opposite direction of the enemy. I don't think they have a single ship which can... I think I'm going to lose this battle. So limited top speed by their fuel. Oh, I am thinking about that, but I'm wondering if to do it to the next one or the next one, if that makes sense. So if they stay together for 2... Basically, mentally, I've already written off pretty much all both these units and just not going, yeah, they're going to be lost. I forgot there was such a large French fleet operating in this area, otherwise I would have concentrated slightly more force, especially for long transits. And the thing is, these are upgraded Chesters, so they're not as fast as the previous ones, but they do have more firepower by a hefty margin. Yay, end battle bundles appeared. Thank you. It's always a... If you're dealing with humans, humans like to spot patterns. And so the thing is, you want to give a pattern for your opponent to spot, and then you break the pattern. Computers are not quite the same; they're not so bothered about it. But it is now 33 minutes past by my clock, and yeah. Oh. Okay. Japan has joined the war against France. This is not good for France. I have a gathering fleet in this area, so much so that frankly, yeah. If I were the French, I would not be going anywhere near that place. That would be very inadvisable to end up in anywhere near there. They have some forces, they do. They have this one especially, which is what I just bumped into. But that would not do well against any of the forces in here. 6 battle cruisers, 6 light cruisers. Yeah, that's not a good force for them to take on. And yeah, we're doing okay. We've got 2.6 million tonnage down there. Our research is hull constructions come through for us. Special machinery, we'll carry on with that. Control stations are already in. Rangefinders, that's nothing too soon available for that. Explosives is available soon. And underwater, yeah, I want the ASW underwater acoustics. I want to avoid the torpedoes. Yeah, Japan is getting the race of the French colonies. I'm not really worried about that. Honestly, the French colonies in this area are... I've already picked off some pretty much good ones, and once I get Cambodia and Thailand... It's basically... I've already got this area from the French. Thailand is my next target, because then that gives me a secure... Basically, Bay of Bengal becomes my little waterway. Japan, I think, will probably go after some of France's African colonies, because Japan has Aden. Japan has these. So I think if they go after some of the French African colonies, that's going to be fun for me. And yeah. Let's do that. So I'll be taking them up to 287,000 tons. Very shortly, in terms of max shipyard size, which is fine by me. What's that going to do? That's going to add on something to me. In terms of ship design and shipbuilding, I've got very good ships being built. I've got 24 ships under construction. In terms of 24 battleships, 26 ships under construction. That fleet is should start coming in service soon. They're not that far away. They've got... These ones are 6 months away. So the Bulwark class are 6 months away. They're my 34 knot 9 15-inch gun battleships, which I just did as an experiment, 60,000 tonners. And then I've got my 90,000 tonners coming in. And the thing is, I have got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 of those coming in, and they are arriving in roughly 2 years' time, according to this. But I have a feeling the moment these enter service, they're going to be a lot quicker. That's going to take 240,000. Well, no, hang on. That's going to take roughly 480,000 tons off my construction. And 480,000 tons off my construction, that's going to help things. But yes, before anyone else, it is the building 16 90,000 ton battleships which is ruining my construction pace. Unsurprisingly. 16 90,000 ton battleships. Once they enter service, though, Lord help the world. And Lord help what comes next, because I've got next generation 90,000 ton battleships already planned. And a generation after that. Oh, they came for a fight. This is not good. It's basically when you've got one battle cruiser, and the rest of yours are all cruisers, light cruisers, and destroyers. And this is battleships, battle cruisers, light cruisers, some destroyers. I'm not surprised this victory. I lost a destroyer, that's annoying. Okay. We have gained control of Cambodia. Naval invasion. Let's choose a province. Cochina. Let's go for Saigon. And hello, Leslie. And I think that with that all done, and noticing the time that is now 20 to 5, and realising that I will be in trouble, I had better go. Thank you very much, everyone. I have got to go report to fluff walking duty. Hope you're all well, and thank you, Leslie, thank you, Malaga, thank you, Runan, thank you, CM McDevitt, thank you, Jacob, thank you, Jonathan Moon, thank you, everyone who's been on here today, thank you, everyone who's joined today. I will see you all again sometime soon. Toodles. And by soon I mean probably about 7 o'clock this evening on my YouTube channel if you fancy joining for Brew Ships, where we'll be talking through some various books, including Fleet Tactics by Captain Wayne B.P. Hughes of the US Navy, and Okinawa, the reports by the Royal Navy on it. Take care.